the spread of coronavirus, taking care of ourselves, and not putting others in harm's way, especially those already at high risk of getting seriously ill, including people over 65 or those with underlying medical conditions. If you must be out, avoid crowded areas, stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from others, and wear a face covering. Wash hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds, especially after being in public spaces. Avoid touching your face, cough or sneeze in a tissue, then throw it away. Disinfect frequently touched objects. And if you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. Slowing coronavirus means taking care of ourselves while also protecting others. Even if you're not at high risk, these steps should be taken to help slow the spread of coronavirus. We are all in this together.
Women are not an homogenous group.
We face discrimination differently depending on factors such as ethnicity, age, socioeconomic status, and more.
Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to amplify women's voices.
They are the experts of their own lives, initiating conversations within their community about challenges they face, the solutions they're working on, and the opportunities they see.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 for Women's Voices on Air. We know our challenges. We are the experts of our lives.
We are master multitaskers, prioritizing our family, friends, and our faith above our own needs.
Our needs and voices are too often overlooked.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. for Women's Voices on Air.
We tell our stories in our own way.
Hey there! We got some beautiful programming here on Rainier Avenue Radio for your holiday season.
We have incredible programming right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. So much to offer: music, shows,
K-Fox Night Beat, Fresh Juice, mental health awareness for men.
Why change the channel? Just keep it locked in on Rainier Avenue Radio. Jazz from the Cabinets playing jazz music, and Star Time playing holiday music. We got a new show on the air as well.
Weekend House Party.
Weekend House Party.
Weekend House Party.
And all of our other familiar programs as well.
The Reggae Hour, Phil Lamb Radio Show, and Midline Sports.
Along with our special A Christmas Carol.
It's an actual radio drama that was recorded by Rainier Avenue Radio hosts and staff, featuring the president of a large media company, visited by 3 ghosts, past, present, and future.
A Christmas Carol, a classic for us.
Bring in the holidays with your community radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn apps.
Seattle Center, they're having an international market, so they're trying to mimic or show like a German or
Okay, now we can start recording now again. All right, guys, here we go. Okay, let's just start over again. So Renee, we're going to ask you one more time. We're going to just say hello. Thank you. Violeta, why don't you go ahead and introduce your guest first?
Yes, I have Renee. And I'm Violeta Strash. Yes, I have Renee talking about holiday traditions in our families, in our homes. Right? Tina,
let's do it again. You were muted. Hold on.
Yeah, I was muted.
Yeah, here we go. Let's do it again. Okay.
Am I good?
Okay.
Go ahead, start.
Well, thank you everybody for joining Real Estate and Money. My name is Tina Lombard.
And I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
And thank you so much for joining Real Estate and Money. We've got 2 very special guests with us today. We're going to be talking about some fun holiday traditions. And so Violeta, why don't you go ahead and introduce your guest first?
Yes, I have Renee Chao from Seattle. And she's been a longtime friend of mine. She's Chinese American, and she works as marketing in the marketing department for Swedish Providence Hospital. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got the company name correctly said. But we would like to find out what your holiday traditions are in the Chao family as you're growing up. If there's anything new that you've incorporated through the years from when you were young, and Yeah, just
Yes.
tell us
And then
what's important to you.
And then we're going to
Oh.
go ahead and let me introduce Andy first too, because he's also on the screen here. So Andy Lung, Andy has been a very dear friend of mine. He is part of the Asian Real Estate Association here in Colorado. He's presently the president, or he'll be president in this next coming year of the Asian Real Estate Association of Greater Denver. So Andy, thank you for joining us too.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So anyways, yes, let's go ahead and start. Renee, tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you do in your family.
Well, thank you for having me. Just what I remember, we didn't have too many traditions growing up. I mean, Christmas was always a great time. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. So our traditions normally, I mean, all I remember, and I even asked my siblings about this too last night to make sure I didn't forget anything, but we would always open our Christmas presents Christmas Day morning. We would have a big fancy dinner Christmas Day, and then we always had to have a family photo taken in front of the Christmas tree. So not to date myself, but we didn't have the fancy cameras nowadays that we do have. So it took a while because my dad had to adjust the tripod. Someone wasn't smiling. So it was a big deal, but that was something we always did. And then just as we grew up and started having our own families and older, it wasn't so much, I mean, it wasn't about gifts or anything, but it was more of just getting together as a family. So all of us just made it a priority to make sure on Christmas Eve or day we were all together as a family. And nowadays it's always all about food. In our Asian culture, everything circles around food. It's who's bringing what. It's the food planning. Even right now this week, my sister's hosting and she's making prime rib. So all of us are like, what do we bring? How much? And we usually always have too much, but
yes,
it's the food and it's just being together. So
wow. Now, what places in Seattle do you visit during Christmas? Does your family go visit?
Well, we usually go over to each other's homes. But I know in the past in Seattle, the Sheraton has a great gingerbread house.
They do.
I think that's pretty cool. And I haven't done it yet this year, but this is new at the Seattle Center. They're having an international market. So they're trying to mimic or show like a German or a, European market type thing. So they're having a lot of European foods and a lot of different traditions there. So
wow, this is
it more cultural?
Yeah, more cultural
things to do with Winterfest that they usually have. Is it part of that?
They have that, but they used to always have ice skating.
Oh yes.
But I love the craft fairs that go on at this time of year too. So Edmonds has a big one. I know my neighborhood, we all have these little mini craft fairs that showcase different local vendors and crafters. So I'm a big yeah.
Well, I used to like the Christmas boats. Isn't there a candy cane lane over there in the by the University of Washington?
Yeah, Ravenna.
Yeah, Ravenna. That was always nice. So now, Renee, I want to know, what are you bringing to Christmas with your sister's house?
So not to bore people. So my sister is making prime rib. We're having mashed potatoes and 2 different vegetables. Our family is not, we don't like salad. I mean, salad is just not needed for a big dinner. So I am bringing sweet potatoes. And then I want to do an appetizer. So I know this isn't so Chinese because it's cheese and my family's like, we're all lactose intolerant, but I want to do like a cheese ball that's shaped like a snowman. So it's like 2 cheese balls and then have a snowman face. So, yeah.
That's cute.
Well, okay, Raina, stay tight because we're going to come back to you really quick. But Andy, tell us a little bit about what happens in your household. What is your cultural tradition?
I grew up in a small business family. So my parents had a store in Hong Kong. So I want to point out, although Renee and I are both Chinese 100%, and I know her parents are, mom is from Hong Kong, right? And both of my parents are from Hong Kong, but my great-grandparents were from China to Hong Kong. But we share so many different things together. However, how I do Christmas is so different than how Renee does it. Okay, so I grew up in a small business family, and my parents has a storefront retail in Hong Kong. So I don't think they open that day, but we don't have a lot of celebration. But we celebrate when we're in Hong Kong. We just go out to eat again, right? Eating. And then in Hong Kong, I wish I could share a picture here. right by the harbor, they will hang all the lights on the high rises. So when you look at the harbor, it's like the skyline is lit up with Santa Clauses, different things. So that's the district to go to and take pictures and hang out and eat, right? So I moved here when I was in high school. And ironically, after we moved here, my parents decided to open a Chinese restaurant. We close on Christmas Day, New Year Day, Labor Day, July 4th. So we don't have to work that day. We also don't have a lot of time to prep for party, and we have a small family here. Just really my parents, or my father passed away, my mom and me, and then my aunt and uncle. So we don't have a big family here. We don't have a tradition to get together on that day. But we do get together throughout the years, but we didn't make it a tradition to go out that day. I'm the person that I like the value of the tradition, the value of how to be respectful to your elders and whatnot. But I hate to follow tradition.
Yes.
On the celebration side, I'm the kid that if you tell me like you cannot do A, it's like why?
Yeah, I know exactly.
Can I do B? So therefore, we don't have a tradition in my household for Christmas. So we eat well that day. The moment we wake up and we just think about what to eat. I don't like to. My wife. I wouldn't say my wife. Let me take it back. I do not like to host party in my house because before I host a party, I need to go clean up, and after the party, I need to clean up.
Okay.
So I like to go outside to celebrate. I try to give my kids some sort of tradition. Of course, they will get Christmas gift. Then they open it on Christmas Day. We don't even do the cookie and the milk, before, right? So, because I didn't grow up with it, and then when they go to school here, they came home and say, "Daddy, how come we don't have cookie and milk?" I was like, "What's that?" Then I learned that after I have kids.
Are you lactose intolerant too?
I am too, but it's something that, just like other things, I think something that you could get used to. Seriously, like I'm having a better time now than when I first moved to the States.
Yeah.
But I think the system just get used to when you do it enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
we just eat. We don't even have like food. We just eat whatever is that day, whatever is open, or whoever is having a party.
Noodles?
No, noodles for birthday and New Year, right?
Yeah.
Dumplings too, right? It's for like a good meaning of long life, Dumplings is like you have money, I just don't buy that I could eat dumplings and have money, so I just don't follow that.
Wow.
So that's kind of like, I don't have a tradition, but that's my tradition.
Okay. Well, now, what are some of the places you like to go to here in Denver during the Christmas season?
I usually try to go out of town because that's the only time I could turn myself off. When I'm in town, there's always something I could do. There's a phone call always go on. So this year, I'm actually going to Seattle this Friday.
What?
Oh, nice.
What are you doing in Seattle? What are you doing in Seattle?
We just fly into Seattle, and then we hang out for a day, and then next day we're going to drive to Vancouver.
Oh my God! Yeah.
We come back to Seattle again for another couple of days, and come back to Denver because way cheaper to travel that way.
Oh yeah.
When you have a family too, because the plane ticket is like $600 different. Per ticket.
Wow.
Going to Vancouver is international.
Is it? Yes, it's true.
No, wait, you're flying from Seattle to Vancouver, or driving
from Denver to Seattle? Then I'll be driving from Seattle to Vancouver.
Are you going to Richmond, to Chinatown in Richmond?
Of course, I'm going to.
Yes. My family actually did. Yeah, family drove up there the day after Thanksgiving, so we didn't have enough food at Thanksgiving. We drove to Richmond the next day and just we went nuts.
That drive on Google, it says 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful drive. Well, it's so funny because Andy, we're having the installation gala in March, and so we just filmed a video for the installation gala as a promo. But the theme is Into the Dragon. So he came dressed up in his yellow suit, and he had his nunchucks, but it was so funny because Andy, did you know that Bruce Lee actually was from Seattle?
he's buried in Seattle too.
Yes, yes. And so his grave is
Yes.
there with his son. And then, but I think he actually studied right there in Chinatown, Seattle. So you have to take some pictures.
With a philosophy undergrad.
Yes, yes.
Utah, I think.
That's a small world, everybody.
Yeah,
Yes.
really.
So
Under the sky, we're all the same.
Yeah, yes, yes. So, okay, so I'm going to say a little bit about what the Filipinos do, and then Violeta's going to talk about what Russians do. So, as far as Filipinos are concerned, we of course we eat. My mother used to make lumpia, pancit, which is like the noodles. We would make ham. We would have the fried rice or what have you. But then we also still had a turkey for Christmas also. But as there was no end to the amount of entrees. No end. Sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie. We'd have everything you can think of. We'd have 3 or 4 different dishes. But the Filipinos actually they make those stars. Have you seen those paroles? They make the stars, and they're supposed to be like the Star of the North. That they hang them everywhere. And there's usually an Advent. A lot, at least for the Catholic Filipinos, there's an Advent that starts, which is weeks before, like 6 weeks before Christmas. So every week you count down. And you do special novena prayers and so on and so forth. So for us, it's a lot of prayer. And then when Christmas hits, boom, everybody gets a karaoke machine. Everybody gets a karaoke machine. True story. True story.
In your household anyway. Yeah.
My true story. It's every type of recording or whatever, something had to do with music. But we usually do exchange. We'll have my sisters. My sisters this year are coming over to my house. They're flying from Seattle into Denver. And we're going to have a giant Christmas Eve party here and a giant Christmas Day. And they're going to stay for a little bit. So I don't have the luxury of them bringing entrees. So when they come here, we're all just going to cook like mad women in our house. But we usually always get together for Christmas. Our family always gets together for Christmas, and we eat and we drink and we dance. And we're going to film a TikTok this year.
Oh,
we're going to film a family TikTok at Christmas time. But just do something like together and see each other together. And for me, when Seattle, I used to always go try to be on the Christmas boat. I either try to be on the boat or see it when it would land. We would always drive around Candy Cane Lane or what have you. And then we would drive around Magnolia and different places just in the neighborhoods, because some of these people went off on Christmas, especially the Filipino houses. I mean, they just went off. They had like spotlights and, everything else going on. Here in Denver, we have all these little Bavarian villages. There's one in Cherry Creek this year. It's a giant vendor village where they sell hot cocoa and they sell mittens and they sell all types of different Bavarian type of, German type of Christmas stuff. But there's a ice sculpture city, and I believe it's in Cripple Creek, Colorado this year.
Wow.
But they're giant ice sculptures, and they're like buildings. They're like a giant building. And you walk through, and there's lights and everything. So I'm going to try and do that this year. Yeah.
Take pictures.
I'll take
Show
pictures.
us.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, so here, Seattle goes a little off on Christmas. Everything's Christmas in Seattle. Denver is not so much, not like Seattle or New York, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So I do. I wish I could go up to Seattle for Christmas, or at least during the season. We don't have that much here, but we do have the snow, so that counts for something.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You
yeah.
always have snow. Even in the summer, you have snow.
Yeah. Well, now it's supposed to be like 60 degrees. It's crazy. It's like 55, 60 something degrees today. It's ridiculous. So hopefully we'll get snow by next week. But yeah. So that's our Philippine tradition. So how about you, V?
Okay, well, I'm Filipino too, but we talked a lot about the Filipinos. This time I'm going to talk about the Russians. My husband is of Russian descent. His grandparents migrated from the Soviet Union during the Revolutionary War over there and landed in Seattle. And his dad is the only child. And so there's a lot of tradition in the Russian culture as far as, every culture, it's all about food, right? And while this is not a Russian thing, the Strash family used to do this when my mother-in-law was still alive. It was more of a French tradition, but they incorporated it into their Christmas holiday season, where it's usually hosted by my in-laws. It's a breakfast. And prior to that, a few weeks prior to that, all the women go to my mom's, or when I got a big house, they all came to my house and we made French meat pies. Wow. So it's just a pork pie with gravy. And we made that in advance. And then you would bring a pie for your family the day, Christmas Day. And in the meantime, mom and dad have already eaten their breakfast. It's already, they're preparing to have the next family come. So it's one family at a time, seated, and the people that ate prior to you would serve your pie that you've brought to the house that's been warming up in the oven. They would serve that to you and your family, along with I think it's scrambled eggs, and it's a big portion of pie. Scrambled eggs. There was a fruit cup and butterflake rolls. So that was their tradition. But it was kind of cool in that people aren't the only ones doing the whole thing. They weren't the only ones preparing, serving, and all that. It's family after family, so it could drag on for a while. And then I did a traditional Christmas caroling kind of thing with the family, and there was a Santa there, of course, and then the kids got gifts there. So that was the traditional thing. And as far as decor, we'll show a little bit later. We'll add these in later, Tina. There are pictures of Matryoshka dolls. They're the nesting dolls that you've probably seen. One big doll, and then inside it, it's a shorter doll, shorter doll, shorter doll. Yes. And I have a picture of a Matryoshka doll, and then a tree. That's the same thing. There's a tree in one, there's a Santa in the next one, and a little elf, and a tiny little tree. So it just graduates down to a small thing. And then there are these decorative pallet boxes, they're called, and winter scenes. St. George is the saint, and Saint Nicholas are the big saints for the Russians, and they have they're all hand painted, and I show one that's a little round box. They're all boxes, black lacquer boxes, very colorful, and then the small ones are intricately painted with a one hair brush.
Wow.
You'll see, it's just amazing, very expensive, but they have that as part of their decor. And I think the Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker is a big thing for the Russians to see. It's the composer is Russian, so the Nutcracker is a big ballet that when the kids were younger, they'd go watch Pacific Northwest Ballet to see that performance. And then there's a Russian center where they would have plays and food and singing and all this stuff. You can buy gifts from all the ladies that would bring their crafts to the Russian center up in Capitol Hill, Seattle. But it's places to go to besides Winterfest at Seattle Center. There's Woodland Park Zoo has zoo lights, and so does Tacoma's Point Defiance Zoo and Park. Botanical Gardens in Bellevue, beautiful lit gardens for the season. That's always fun to do. Yeah. And you can even go ice skating at Bellevue Park, next to Bellevue Square. So the parents can go shopping and the kids can go try to skate on, handmade rink out there. So that's the family tradition.
That's nice. Yeah, Bellevue Square has that big Christmas parade, don't they? They have a parade every night in front
what's that called? Yeah. It's a winter. It's a
winter
parade, and they bring the snow, and all the
Tin Man
soldiers and nutcrackers are out there, and
that's nice. Yeah. So let me ask everybody really quick. When the kids were growing up, did they believe in Santa Claus? Did you tell them about Santa Claus? What happened?
Yeah, I think my kids believed. They did.
You did the whole Santa Claus. Yeah.
We did Andy, we did the cookies and milk for Santa. We had 2 fireplaces, and they didn't know which fireplace Santa would come down. And so that we had cookies and milk at both fireplaces, and they were all eaten up for some reason. Okay. And then they had the reindeer poop.
Oh, did you what? I'll write that down. Okay.
The reindeer poop, it's just a sprinkling of things, dirt, and so that you can go outside and in the snow you can see tracks of where the reindeer may have stood.
Oh my God.
And they just you can buy little packages of just this stuff
of
you
reindeer stuff
it on the ground, and they just call it reindeer poop.
And then at what age do you realize that was all not true?
Yeah.
I think they still believe. No, I'm just
Do
kidding.
they?
Yeah, probably when they were in elementary school, like
probably.
Probably 9.
Yeah.
No, I think
I think nowadays I have younger kids, right? Nowadays, because of the internet, they find out much sooner.
I know.
I know. I found out when after Christmas, we were running around with all these toys. We were breaking on the toys my mother gave me. My mother said, I'm not going to say the cuss word, but she said, there's no Santa Claus. I'm Santa Claus. Knock this stuff off. I bought this stuff for you. I was like, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, don't break that stuff.
My nephew is 9. My nephew is 9, and he has an older sister who's 13, so Sophia. And this year, I think this was 2 weeks ago, he woke up at 7 a.m. He knew when to talk to my sister because my sister is not awake at 7 a.m. He walks into her room and goes, "Mommy, you are Santa." And my sister was like in shock. She didn't even know what to say. She didn't know how to cover it up. She just went, "Yes, I am." So that was this year. That was 2 weeks ago. So he doesn't believe in Santa anymore. But I have to give kudos to his sister. Huh?
How did he find out? Did Sophia tell him, or
no? Sophia didn't tell him.
Probably somebody from school.
Yeah, school or
I
the
think
internet.
his friends.
Horrible.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Another question. Next question. What is your favorite Christmas movies? Tell me some of your favorite Christmas movies. Yeah.
A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
I wrap presents.
I like Christmas
all
Story.
day long, 24 hours of A Christmas Story. And I could be wrapping presents till 3 a.m. watching a loop of that movie.
Oh, wow.
Love it.
Yeah, Christmas Story is good.
Which one?
Christmas Story. I agree with you.
How about you, Andy? How about you, Andy?
I just know Home Alone because I watched that one.
Well,
yeah, that's a good one.
I like that
I was
one.
going to say that too.
Yeah,
How about Elf?
Elf is really good. Elf is really good. I saw Violent Night. Have you guys seen that one on Netflix?
What's it?
It's new. It's called Violent Night. And it's Santa.
No.
Santa.
Is it scary?
He accidentally goes through the chimney and he comes upon a house where there's kidnappers and all this other kind of stuff and hijack, ransom, all this kind of stuff. So he has to help the little girl. So he like beats up all these different bad people. It's funnier than heck, but it's not for baby eyes. But yeah.
I also like all the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Charlie Brown,
and the Grinch.
The Grinch.
My husband is the
Grinch
Grinch. So we like to watch the Grinch just to remind him that you could have a good heart.
Oh, yeah. Oh
I like all the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, those old ones, with the claymation, not the newer ones. It's got to be like 1964 or something.
We know all the songs. I'm Mr. Miser. We know all the songs.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites. Yeah. So goodness. Yeah. So let me see here. I got some other questions for you. Do you buy anything special for your spouse on Christmas? Do you buy something special, as special as a birthday gift?
For your spouse?
For your spouse, for your significant other. Do you do something special? Or are you kind of like, yeah, whatever? Nobody wants to answer.
Andy?
Every day is special. Why do I need to make special? Christmas Day special.
Yeah. I kind of agree too. I mean, if it's something that someone needs during the year, we just buy it, right? It's not we wait for Christmas to make it special. It's just throughout the year. So.
Okay. How about you, V? Did you do anything for Dan?
No. He bought himself a huge TV. I said, "That's good. That's your Christmas present this year." Yeah.
Oh, well, I always try to buy some. Well, when I was married before, I'd buy my husband like a Stetson hat or a wool overcoat, or a special watch or something like that. But okay, I could have got away with this. Okay, take notes now. Just get away with. Okay. So one last question. Okay, because I think we've got like maybe 5 more minutes. So if you can make a Christmas wish and you can make the world better, what would you say would be what would you like to do to make the world better on Christmas?
Who's going
Renee?
first? I go.
Okay.
Andy, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, so I used to be in IT, right? So if I could invent something that programs people's mind to be more kind and alike,
Mm.
and eliminate all the misunderstanding, prejudice, whatnot to bring conflict in this world would be great.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good.
I think I would
Renee?
want to find a cure for cancer. There's a cure for
Yes.
cancer.
Yes, that's good. That's good. How about you, V?
I was going to say there's hope in that since my older son just got his PhD in cellular biology, and he
Yes,
will
we need
direct that
that.
towards finding something for cancer.
Mhm.
For me, I think just, health concerns, get rid of all the COVID and all the drama around that, and let's just find a way to be healthy, stay healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know for me, it breaks my heart when I see people in different countries and the kids are starving. The kids have no nutrition,
Yeah.
no education. And I don't see how we can build a cell phone. We can put a man on the moon, but we can't, wipe out hunger across the U.S., across the world. So that breaks my heart. I think there's so much wealth in certain countries, and such as ourselves. And there's people that are so poor and they have no food. That breaks my heart. So I would like to see hunger and misappropriation of wealth annihilated. Yeah. So that's
Very
my
good.
Christmas wish. Yes. So anyways, okay. Well, so we're coming at the end here, but hey, Andy and Renee, we want you to talk a little bit about what you do.
So that's about Aria right here.
Mhm.
No Tina do this organ.
It's so challenging.
She came in there and she's just like,
Quick, can we sing the part of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas"? All of us?
yes, we can do that.
You have to sing.
Andy,
Just
just
sign
join in or
off.
just move your mouth. Okay,
Sign off. Pretend you're doing karaoke, okay?
move your mouth. Okay. Merry
Merry
Christmas
Christmas
and a happy New Year. Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll see
Okay,
you
bye,
next time.
everyone.
Merry Christmas.